So I was in a Discord call a couple nights ago playing Final Fantasy XIV and watching anime like a true modern degenerate, and I had a random thought. Where in the world of Eorzea is the shortest walk from a city aetheryte to an inn room? Inn rooms are very useful places for the average Final Fantasy XIV player. There's a retainer bell, a bell to get a haircut, and even some things that aren't bells, like the Unending Journey or a glamour dresser. The most important feature of an inn room is that you do this cute little animation of your character getting out of bed if you logged out and want to log back in. So, if you're feeling like you're about to collapse from wiping the Garuda 1,000 times on a party advertised as a suppression prog, and you want to log out so you get that adorable little slice of personality from your own little self-insert dress-up doll, what aetheryte do you teleport to if you want to get there the quickest? The conversation landed on Gridania as the clear favorite because of this fun little shortcut you can do that, according to this Reddit video, puts the time from loading to in-room at about 19 seconds. I was worried that I was slowly wasting precious seconds of my comparatively short and insignificant life teleporting and walking all the way to Limsa every time I needed to indulge my crippling dress-up addiction. I wanted to be more scientific. Because I have ADHD, and my savage static was meeting in 6 hours so I couldn't commit to anything, I decided to test this theory. Here's what I did. I teleported to every main city a minimum of 5 times, and recorded myself while I did it. I made sure that for every teleport I was in a different location than the city's aetheryte, I just went from the inn room back to the aetheryte, and timed using the same timing method. I recorded all of them in the same OBS session using the same settings. Timing started on the frame that the chat box said you have entered a sanctuary when I teleported to the city, and timing stopped when I saw the same message on the other end. I made sure my computer was running as fast as it possibly could by closing everything except Discord, OBS, and Final Fantasy XIV itself. And I even went the extra mile and moved from the frankly Kowloon-walled city-looking server Gilgamesh to Matawin, which might as well be the wasteland left behind by Captain Trips. I did all of the timing at normal speed with no sprint and on Scholar, so there's no variance. I logged the results, and my finding was pretty interesting. As a reminder to everyone, there are currently 7 different inn rooms in the game at the moment, the 3 in the base game, and 1 added with every expansion. There's the Carline Canopy in New Gridania, the Hippie's Paradise, the Drowning Wench in Limsa Lominsa, my home city and normal haunt for AFKing, the Quicksand in Ul'dah, I couldn't think of a joke for something so unremarkable, the Forgotten Night in Ishgard, a place I had to look up the location of, Bokairo Inn in Kugane, a place I have been to exactly once, the Pendants in the Crystarium, there's no joke here, the Ardbert sections of Shadowbringers made me cry, and the Andron in Old Sharlayan, the only place in Eorzea that Five Guys DoorDashes to. So you're probably wondering, what was the best and what was the worst? Let's go from the bottom up. To confirm my worst fears about wasting time, Limsa Lominsa clearly loses. Sorry everyone, but despite the shortest walk to a market board, you're losing precious time if you're going to Limsa. Limsa both holds the record for the worst room and the worst individual run of the entire experiment, and this is despite having an unfair advantage since this is the one that I go to the most. Limsa's lowest time is about 27 seconds on average and is barely over 26 from the main aetheryte to the inn. Second worst ARR keep losing, Ul'dah! This one was the one I was least familiar with, so I did a few practice runs, and it turns out it literally didn't matter. Ul'dah's average came in at about 24.7 seconds, with the worst run being 25 seconds and the best just over 24. Third worst is Ishgard. This one surprisingly had the lowest range of the data, only 0.69 seconds between the fastest run and the slowest run. I literally didn't know this even existed, thought logically it makes sense, but I've just never been inside. I like the interior though, shame about the failure of the speedrun. Average time was about 21.8 seconds, the best run about 21.3, and the worst around 22.7. In the upset of the century, Gridania takes the middle spot. It has the highest range of all times in the game, could probably be done better, but given the dataset following, I don't want to go test it further because the difference between it and the winner is far enough that I don't think I could get it better. Gridania came in 0.01 seconds under Ishgard in terms of time. Third place, surprisingly, was the Crystarium. There's not much remarkable about this. I have to say it's good to know that they made sure you could get there quickly in between Shadowbringers trauma events that the Warrior of Light is still having flashbacks about. The average was about 19.4 seconds, the worst run was about 20. And it'll give it away which is the best one once I say the second best, so second best was Old Sharlayan. This one is my favorite in-room in terms of appearance, and I love the cutscenes that play out in here, especially the one in Endwalker where your best buddy wakes you up in the middle of the night. Man, Endwalker was goated. Sharlayan is a significant upgrade from the rest since you've saved a full 2 seconds. Sharlayan's average was exactly 2 seconds lower than the Crystarium's at 17.4 seconds. If you've been paying attention, you figured out that Kugane has won. The city famous for an annoying tower jumping puzzle has the shortest walk to the inn room. Kugane's town is 16.87. Given more time, you could probably get the Sharlayan time down to about a similar time, but I'm not testing it. Was your guess good? Did you get it right? How many times have you teleported to Limsa and wasted time when you could have just gone to Kugane? How do you feel knowing you lost 10 seconds every time you went to Limsa when you could have gone to Kugane? What are you going to do with this information anyway? Nothing. You're going to go where you normally go, but now every time you go to an inn, you're going to think about this video.